a huge favor, so I have to get up again. Can you please give this to Miss Val at that front table? Thank you. More for you, Miss Val. You do, yeah. Okay. Oh, on there, yeah. Okay. People that have proof and they put in agenda items. One for the computers, one for the policy, and Lucille didn't read. Yeah, both of them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna call this, I'm gonna call the meeting to order. Out of respect, please turn off all phones and remove hats. The national anthem, and is anybody recording? We got one, anybody else? Okay, everybody's recording. Okay, please, everybody, please stand up.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first thing we got is approval of minutes of the treasurer's meeting on 6/16. They have a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Do I have a second? Okay, by Rosemary, all in favor say aye, and raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay, next we have board correspondence, letter from Jackie McCabe, neighborhood Fall Garage and Val Stratton will read the letter, please.
Dear board members, I would like to request approval for the neighborhood fall garage sale on October 16, 2021, and for the setup for and the use of room E from September 20th, 21 until October 15th, 2021. These dates have been approved by the community activity coordinator. I would like to request your approval for the general public to attend for the sale. Also, that you approve that the monitors be scheduled in such a manner on Friday, October 15, 2021, so that no overtime is incurred. Thank you for considering these issues. Sincerely, Jackie McCabe. I make a motion to approve the neighborhood fall garage sale on October 16, 2021, set up for the night before, and for the use of room E from September 20th, 2021 until October 15th, 2021. Also, approval that the monitors schedule on Friday, October 15th, 2021 be worked out so that no overtime is incurred.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Any discussion on that?
No, I just wanted to, oh, go ahead.
Were we gonna move the exercise?
Well, I was just gonna ask Vince, if there's gonna be a problem with the scheduling, and if anything has to be rearranged. No.
Okay. Any questions by the audience? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next thing on is president report.
Excuse me. Are you gonna approve that the general public can attend?
Oh,
Yes,
well, so you have to amend the motion, or make another, can you make another motion?
You can amend it.
Yeah, amend the motion to include the,
Okay, I'd like to amend this motion to include allowing the general public to attend the sale. Gail, do you agree?
I do.
Any discussion?
Just want to remind people that the clubhouse is going to be, we're hoping that the clubhouse will open fully to the public October 1st. That's our target date,
okay.
because it's October 15th. For the, oh no, that's the October 15th. Oh, when is the garage sale?
It's open now.
October 16th.
October 16th, right, yes. So it's after October 1st, that's all I'm saying.
So now,
It's open to the general public now. Wide open.
To the whole public? To the
Yes.
general public?
Since June 14th.
Since June 14th, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of the dances and stuff, they start October 1st. I just came off vacation.
okay, so we don't need to amend anything.
Yeah.
That's all good, okay. The next thing is president report. Okay,
Excuse me.
I'll
Well,
make
you
a
guys
motion
didn't
to
vote.
approve.
We made the motion to amend, I seconded it, so you.
Okay, all in favor of the amended motion, say aye. Okay.
Aye.
Okay, now we go to the president report. The only thing I have is, remember, no parking SUVs in the front row, by the way. That tree, where that tree was taken down, that's Arelli's taking care of that, repaving that. And, one last thing, if anybody sees me on the road riding a motorcycle, which it started last week, please get out of the way. Thank you, make it a little easier on me. So, next will be the treasury report. Carol, I'm sorry, treasury report by Larry, sorry.
Hi, everybody. Treasury report as of June of 2021. You can hear me? Hello? Hello? Am I alive now? Yeah. All right. So, we're good, man, thanks. Treasury report as of June 2021. Assessments were $99,044.32. Fines are $5,550. Interest income is $20.98. Mowing is $22,740. Screenings are $844. Late fees are $425. The estoppel fees are $5,900. Pool passes are $225 and barcodes are $295 for a grand total of $115,004.30. The expenses, administration was $10,466.31. Facilities is $16,248.65. Public Works is $13,51.90. And security is $18,830.44 for a total of $59,297.
Can you just do Public Works again?
Yeah, did I read it wrong?
Yeah.
$13,751.90.
That's for people listening on TV.
Hi, everybody. Total expenses the total expenses there was $59,297.30. Our reserve ending balance is $2,121,453.24. Deposits made from January through July is $313,040. Donated income is $2,767, and our donated fund account balance is $29,086.83. Some of the donated funds, and I'm not gonna have everything, but I'll have most of it, I believe. There was $1,000 donated by the social dance group for the curtains. There was Brookridge Entertainment also donated $1,000 towards it. Vending machine proceeds are in there also for, I think that was $151. The Golf Association donated $200 towards the railing down at the pavilion. And I think that's all I have. Oh, RV compound was $30 was donated. And the drapes were treated, and there's a fire retardant on the drapes, but there's still no smoking in here. That's what I think I have for treasurer's report tonight.
Okay, next will be the general manager's report, and that's always.
The RV compound committee had their first meeting this week, and the committee will be going to the RV compound next week to assess if and how many sites are vacant. They will also be checking for current registrations and license plates to assure that the correct people are in their correct site. The tentative date for paving is August 2nd. The county will start installing the risers and the covers next week, and it should take about 2 weeks to complete. The roads that are being paved are Midfield, Mina, Thorpe, DeHaven, Marana, and Fitzpatrick. On the day that your street is being paved, please be sure that you cancel or reschedule any contractors like pest control or lawn service for that day, as they will not be allowed on the road.
Okay, that's it for the reports. The first thing is the unfinished business, and that's rules and regulations. Article 3, that's BCPO swimming pool, section 1, analysis update, the rules and regulations for the pool noodle, amendment to Order 3, section 1C. Okay, right, currently, definition of floating type noodles is an individual foam noodle not to exceed 63 inches length and long and 3.5 inches in diameter. The proposed is a floating noodle is not to exceed 63 inches long and 6 inches in diameter, which makes it allow for the noodle, looks like a plank. That's why it's there. And well, yeah, and with no modifications. Make a motion to accept that change. Do I have a second? Oh, I'm sorry, any discussion?
No, then I second it. You're right, second it. I'll second it.
Discussion?
All right, so this is what we have approved right now,
The blue one.
the blue one.
Yeah.
All right. This isn't foam, it is an inflatable, but it's 5 inches. So it's,
We can't, we still can't do that because it's gonna be made of foam, did you know?
for size comparison,
Oh, this, oh,
I
yeah.
have this example
Okay.
that is 5 inches, not 6. So I wanted people to see, and the board to see how big this is gonna be. If we had a bunch of these in the pool, I wanted you to know how much room it's gonna take.
Is it the same length?
It's the same length though.
It's actually shorter than what we approved. This is 60 inches, what do we got, 63, so not too much difference. Although, this is a nice traveling noodle and it fits in your suitcase, so I'm not sure why this wouldn't be acceptable when foam breaks down as it gets older and it gets warm and it fills up the strainer for the floaters.
Vince, you explained to us before, we don't have any of the, like, anything that floats that's inflatable. Could you just explain that to us, why that's not recommended?
You blow it up.
Right, it's an inflatable one,
You can't have anything inflatable, it's already a rule.
right? It's in our rules and regulations that you can't have any inflatable.
Devices,
Right,
or no inflatable flotation devices.
yes, that's
It's
fine.
It's already there.
Okay, any questions from the audience? Okay. What's that? Okay. All in favor of accepting the change, the noodle, raise your right hand, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, motion approved. And two, was it two noes?
One vote.
One no, okay. Motion passes. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do business and pass due account suspensions that'll be done by Larry Hughes, the treasurer.
Okay, account suspensions. The analysis is Florida statute 720-305-3. If a member is more than 90 days delinquent in paying a monetary obligation due to the association may suspend the rights of the member or the member's tenant, guest, or invitee to use common areas and facilities until the monetary obligation is paid in full. Florida statute 720-305-5, all suspensions imposed pursuant to the subsection 3 or subsection 4 must be approved at a proper notice board meeting. Upon approval, the association must notify the parcel owner if the applicable person's occupant, licensee, or invitee by mail or in delivery. The recommendation is to approve the suspension of the past due accounts, and the accounts are, these are UBL numbers, 103058, 115023, 634017, 631008, 455003, 350001, 457010, 463017, 471003, 472021. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the listed account numbers that are past due more than 90 days. Suspension of privileges will be imposed 7 days after the board's decision, and will continue until the accounts are made current in accordance with Florida statute 720.305.
I'll second. Oh. Down.
Do we have any discussion on that?
Larry, you wanna? Okay, I just want to, it doesn't sound like much, but these are all accounts that people have not paid their assessments, which hurts the rest of us because we all have an obligation as equal partners in Brookridge to pay these. So right now, this month, we have 10 accounts that these people haven't paid their dues for 3 months. That affects the budget. On the other side is that all suspension of privileges will be imposed. That also means that when you are in 90-day suspension like this, you are not allowed to vote either because you are not in good standing. If it's a month or 2 months, that's one thing, but these are more than 90 days. So these people also lose their right to vote.
Gail, I don't think that rule is in our rules,
It's in the statutes. It's in the statutes.
that we can put it in our bylaws, but it's not in our bylaws.
We have the choice to do that. We can do that. I don't believe it's in the bylaws, but it can be it might be in our deed restrictions. I have read it, and it was also in the statutes. It's the same as if somebody is in arrears, they can't run for the board. It's the same concept.
I understand it was, you couldn't run for the board. I didn't think that it affected the number of people who voted.
It can, if the community if there was a decision by the president or by the board, that is the way that the law is written. Is that yes or no, Carol?
That's a yes, because they're not a member in good standing.
And they can't run for the board,
Correct.
but they could vote.
No. And that's just a reminder. I want to let people know, Mark, you're correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Any discussion by the audience, any question? I got one on the front row, second row there. To the right.
You have to come up to the mic, sir. That's for the people viewing at home. Push it up.
Is that on?
Yep. Huh? Yep.
Just hit it, it should be okay.
I don't talk that loud. Is there a process? Close up?
There you go.
Yeah, like you're a singer, you know?
Okay, is there a process involved in these delinquencies, let's call them, that you follow to see why the hell they're behind?
Why they're behind? Yes.
Yeah.
Those are, yes. Some of them are a believer in probate and things like that. So if somebody, it's usually not somebody living here unless they're in bankruptcy, which that would not apply. But we do follow up every month. We follow up. We try to follow up with the homeowner to see if there's something wrong, if they're sick, or, if they were called away for an emergency.
That
Yes.
was my thought. In other words,
Yes.
it's some kind of personal reason, or they're just trying to cheat you out of the money, that's.
We don't know. It could be part of both, but yes. And that's something that Jerry had, he's very true to that. He had said that before. So we do check all of them every month to
Okay.
see why.
I think it's important, thank you.
Okay. And, yeah, if you could just give us your name
Oh,
and
I'm in
unit.
Unit 3, my name is Robert Kowal, I've been here for 25 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert. Are you there?
Is the lady back there?
Yes, come on up. See you back there.
He can't see you behind the podium.
I can't see him either.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Kathy Galvin, I think I'm 6.
Okay.
I'm just curious as to, how do you enforce the suspensions? How do you know if somebody's using any of the facilities they're not supposed to, things like that? I'm curious about who enforces that.
Okay. One thing is, for the pool and the facilities here, you have to have your pool pass. Your pool pass has the UBL number, and the monitors check the UBL numbers to make sure that they're not in suspension. They get a list every week. And at the coming into the community, your barcode is shut off. So you have to go through the visitor's gate, because we can't deny you entrance, but you don't have the privilege. Yeah. Does that help?
Yep.
Okay.
All right, thank you. My voice is about gone, so, anybody else got any questions? All those in favor of this motion, raise your right hand, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Next thing on the agenda is new computers for the administrative and car shack. I'm gonna make a motion right here to table this item. Table it further down the road. We can do it another day.
Do we need a second to table it, or can we just table it? I don't remember. Just table it.
Okay, the next item is new track, public works, and I'm gonna table that one as well. Make a motion to table
Oh, just second it. Just go ahead.
Second.
it. Okay. Okay, the next thing is the bylaws change, and that's gonna be Gil McKesson.
And two of these bylaw changes should be no surprise because the two of them were the nominating committee had requested them and they were approved to come up to us. So these two of them came from the nominating committee back in December. The other thing is that if we approve these bylaw amendment changes, they're only to be approved to a ballot so that the general public, that the membership approves them. And for bylaw changes, it's 51% of the membership. And we're probably going to do it when we have the budget vote also. So it'll be in this year. So as of January 1st, it would be started. I just wanted to say that ahead of time because people had some questions about that. Yes. Okay. So the first one is to update Community Property Bylaw, Owners Bylaw, Article 5, Section 2. And what we would like to, the way that the section reads right now is all directors must reside year-round in Brookridge and be a BCPO member. The cause for this is that two persons residing in the same home cannot run for the board at the same time. When I had sent this to the attorney to be looked at, actually Carol did, and he looked at our bylaws. And the bylaws said that we could have up to 9 people in Brookridge, 9 board members, down to 3. Brookridge has 7, we've had 7 for a long time, so that's why I'm going to actually amend this motion. And I would like it to read, I'd like to make a motion that the reading of Article 5, Section 2 reads, all directors must reside year-round in Brookridge and be a BCPO member. Co-owners of a lot or persons residing on the same lot may not serve as members of the BCO Board of Directors at the same time, period.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Larry Hughes. Any discussion?
Okay.
Okay, you got discussion, come on, Val.
No, it is the board first. Oh, I don't hear you.
Hello. Okay, I know I have pieces of paper. Okay, I wanted to point out that in 720, it does say that election and board vacancies, 9A, well, actually 9B. All members of the association are eligible to serve on the board of directors. So it's all members. It doesn't say 1 house, 2 house. And I think it's apparent that if somebody didn't want spouses or cohabitators to be on the board, just don't vote them in. So that's my say. Now I have Maria's story.
Hold on, that's up to that's given to the president.
All right.
That should be given to the
Okay,
president.
yeah.
All right, that's not what I was taught.
Yes, the president does that. So it's still the board.
Yeah, you're supposed to do the board and then you call them.
I have one comment. Did you not read all of it unless they own more than 1 lot?
That's right, when
Unless they own more than 1 lot.
I asked we asked the attorney to take our bylaws, look through them, and see what the language should be. And he told me that on the board, in our bylaws, it says that Brookridge would have up to 9 members. Okay, that means that if we had 9 members we had to have at least 5 people to constitute the board, and he said if only 4 people ran, then that would be it. And he says, you know, so with 7, we can run on 4, although it says 3, but we've never done 3. You can run on 4. So they would be very unlikely because there would always be 2 people on the board.
Well, when I talked to the attorneys about this, because I had people call me on the telephone at home asking me why Rich and Val were both running, and I called both our attorney firms, Peyton Boland and Steve Metzer, and they both advised me that they are both allowed to run for the board, and we could get in trouble if we do not allow them to run for the board as a husband and wife. So I don't know where Steve got you this information from, but I'm very upset about it because it seems like I'm getting different stories now.
No, you got the right story with the way that the bylaws were made. The bylaws at the time said only that all directors must reside year-round in Brookridge and be a BCPO board member. Now, not only did, if I can finish, not only did people question that, but the nominating committee also did too, because they were under the assumption that 2 people in the same household could not run together. They asked the board at the time that they would like to have them put on the agenda for the vote, the next ballot vote. And that is what
The membership vote.
The membership vote, right. I want to remind you that what this is doing, if this gets passed, it gives us permission to put it on the ballot to the membership. This does not mean when you have bylaws, it has to be passed by the membership, but they have to come to the board first to be able to go on the ballot.
Correct.
Yes, and that was, and Steve Mezzer was very clear. He says, yes, the way that it is written, it is, anybody can run for the board.
Right, but we're not going to change it now. We're going to wait for the membership.
That is what I said right from the beginning, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be up to the membership, and it's 51%.
So if I can read again, it says if you want more than 1 lot, they can run.
No, I've.
It says right here.
I told you, I explained that the lawyer gave us the information based on up to 9 members, because our bylaws say that it could be up to 9 members on the board. And if there are 9 members, he said sometimes it's very difficult to get 5 people to run. So he said, if you've got to base it on 9 members, then that is the way you can do it. And that is only, and they can run only if there are not enough eligible candidates. So that does not mean that they automatically can run together or be on the board, but that says quite clearly, unless they own more than 1 lot, or unless there are not enough eligible candidates, that is up to Brookridge to decide if they want to have this or not.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, Gail, sorry. So,
That's okay.
I thought you crossed out both of those lines. So is the lot thing still in there?
No,
Okay.
we've decided that, no.
Is the, unless there's not enough candidates, is that still in there?
No,
Okay, so I did have it right, we crossed out the 2 lines.
right.
Okay, I wanna,
And that will be up to the membership.
right, it is up to the membership.
It will be up to the membership.
Because this, in 720,
Yeah.
that's our rights as, when we live in an HOA, and our rules and regulation can make things more strict, or
That's right.
like, we're allowed to fly a flag, but we can make it more strict.
Yes,
I wanted to point out,
that makes it more strict.
no, and it does.
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out that Article 18 of the bylaws, so that we don't forget this, because sometimes we, like with the capital contribution, we forgot some steps and it never got moved forward. But we also have to hold a public meeting at least 30 days in advance.
Correct.
Yes.
We have to post the notice on the official boards at least 10 days.
Mm-hmm.
just bringing it up.
Yeah.
There
Well,
will be more
Right, absolutely.
opportunity.
Yes.
Discuss it.
This is, right, and we usually do that when we're gonna have any type of bylaw changes or deed restriction changes. We make sure that we speak to the, the public has input. Okay?
Okay, I've got, let's see, I don't know if it's Mary Story or Linda Walls first to speak on this. Because both names on the speech, paper. There's two on one, okay.
We'll call one of them up.
Then first thing come up,
Okay, invite them up.
Linda Walls and Mary.
Linda Walls and Mary, come on up.
Mary Story, Unit 6. Mary Story, Unit 6.
Linda Walls, Unit 4.
Gail, on your proposed, you're actually making a proposed motion to change the article. Should it not read to put it onto the ballot? If this is approved this way, you're actually saying you're doing a change to that article.
We cannot, under our bylaws, the board cannot change or amend any bylaws. The only thing we can do is amend them or change them to put them on the ballot. That will go on to the ballot.
Right,
Yes.
so what you're proposing here, your proposed motion says to actually approve the change.
Okay, it is to approve the change to put on the ballot.
Okay,
Okay.
are you going to word it that way?
I will be very willing to amend it to that.
And the next question is, why can't we leave it to the residents to decide whether they want it for, in the case of somebody owning more than one lot, a lot and a half? Why don't we leave that up to the residents to make that decision versus the board deciding for us?
Because the board is the one that decides what is going to go as the amendment. It is only the board that can do that. If you do two of them, it's going to be very confusing. If it does not pass, or if it passes and people want to change it at some point, we can do that. Because you have people that rent homes, but they're never going to reside in that home. And so they're renting them.
You're saying they're renting it out to someone?
Yes.
And they do get more than one vote?
On the ballot, right, on the ballot.
So why not to the people that actually own the land, give them the right to have an extra, a say here that they can run?
It's up to the board to decide that, if we would like to do that or not. Okay, I will amend the motion, okay? Okay, Arlene,
Yes, ma'am.
I am going to amend my motion
Okay.
to approve the change in Section 5, Article 5, Section 2 of the Brookridge bylaws, stating all directors must reside year-round in Brookridge and be a BCPO member. Co-owners of a lot or persons residing on the same lot may not serve as members of the BCPO Board of Directors at the same time. If approved, this amendment will go on to the next ballot vote.
Okay.
Okay, I got Lucy DeGuire. She can come on up, she wants to speak.
Lucille McGuire, Unit 4. I was going to speak on 3 different things, but 2 things have been tabled, so forget about that. I was going to speak about what we just spoke about, but seemingly other people already understood what I understood too, and it's been amended.
Yes,
Okay?
it's been amended so that it's clear that it goes on to the ballot for the
Correctly
people.
put.
Yeah.
And the Article 18, Section 1, A and B has already been addressed too, and that is 30 days before the voting, there should be a hearing and enough notification about it.
The voting to the people.
Right,
right?
where the people
The
decide.
vote will be in November.
Where the people will decide.
In November, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that covers it.
Yeah.
As for these tabled items, I'll just wait and see if it's gonna be brought back up, because I do have questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucy.
Any other questions about this amendment?
She has one more.
Oh, go ahead, Val.
Okay, one last thing. As a board member for 4 years prior to this term, when we voted on changing bylaws or deed restrictions and putting them on the ballot, we tried to keep them to the important ones, because too many things to vote on, if it's not crucial, there's other things in these bylaws that could be updated, or deed restrictions that could be updated, that are probably more important, because this is something that you either vote for the person or you don't, so it doesn't really matter. But, that's my final.
And on that thought, there are a lot of members that talked about this issue, not only to us, but to the nominating committee and to many others in the community. And if someone feels that if there's enough people that feel that strongly, then we should give it to the people to vote for.
Any other discussion? Okay. Okay, we're ready for vote. All in favor of this, putting this amendment on,
Say aye.
say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Those opposed?
Aye.
Okay, you got 4 and 3 against. Okay. Motion passed.
The next one is Article 7, Section 3. This will change the term Chief Executive Officer to just President of a Homeowners Association. So the President will be charged with responsibility as acting as the President of a Homeowners Association pursuant to Chapter 720 of the Florida statutes and the governing documents of Brookridge in connection with the affairs of the BCPO. Further, the President shall, within 15 days after the annual meeting, define the duties of the directors and preside at all meetings, call meetings when deemed appropriate, and upon written request of a majority of the board. I make a motion to amend the section to what I had proposed, and if the motion passes, it will be put on the ballot for the membership to vote on at the next ballot.
Okay, do I have a second?
Yes, I got something to say on that, Jerry.
Well, we first.
I'll second.
Second by Larry Hoops, discussion now. Mark Boyd.
Okay, well, according to Section 2, election of officers, it's got the president, and it talks about the president also assumes general charge of the day-to-day administration of the association and has the authority to authorize specific actions to furtherance of the board's policies. As chief executive officer, the president serves as spokesperson for the board of directors in most matters relating to general association business. Like all other officers of the association, the president has the affirmative duty to carry out the responsibilities of the office of the best interest of the association. So why are we taking out chief executive officer when it's been in there for what, 45 years?
The chief executive officer, those duties are the same as the president. The chief executive officer is a different position than the president when when decisions are made unilaterally without the input of other members of the board. So it shouldn't change anything, but to keep it president, there are very few, if any, bylaws for HOAs that still have chief executive officer. So that there are boards input instead of just making unilaterally. The other things that are in here, everything that's in here is still the position of the president. But there are some decisions that have been made in the past that were made unilaterally that affected Brookridge. And we also asked the attorney, is that usually in here? And he said no. So if this amendment passes, then I will have him go back and do the rest, but we didn't want to address the other ones until we knew that if it was going to go through, if it's passed tonight or not.
Point about,
So if I understand this right, by taking out chief executive officer and putting in president, the president is just our spokesperson, and we're all supposed to be making decisions as a board as opposed to just the chief executive officer?
Not necessarily. They can make decisions they can't make it unilaterally. They would have to make it with at least one or two others, and it would depend on how we want to word it. But this is taking out chief executive officer and bring it back to be a president.
So they could still, two people make all the decisions in the board?
It would not just be up to, it could, or it could be others, but it would not be unilaterally.
Well, what happened with the SOPs that were dissolved, I found in my box about employee safety procedures and everything?
Mark, that has nothing to, we're talking about this period.
But it wasn't brought forward.
It wasn't, that has nothing to do.
It wasn't brought to the whole board.
I will answer that question. We've got more important things than looking at SOP. People come through that gate up there, worry about how they get through there, the safety of the gate, or they park in this parking lot. They ain't got time for arguing over SOPs. They better do what's going to do their day-to-day life.
The SOPs are this is what is on the table, and that is not conducive to this discussion.
Is it my turn now? Is it my turn?
Yeah, Woodridge.
Okay, I don't understand why 40-some years we're getting rid of the chief, I call it the CEO. All big companies are all president and CEO. They're combined. Any big operation is a CEO and a president. So why are we different? We're only Brookridge. We're not the government, we're Brookridge. We're Brookridge. We are Brookridge. So why do we gotta take it out, Gail? Why? Why are we gonna take it out? I wanna know why.
Please do not argue with me.
I'm not, I'm asking you.
You are raising your voice.
I do talk loud because I did that for the military, I'm sorry.
Okay. The reason why is that it was not just decision that was made. There was many people that asked about decisions, especially this previous year and in previous years, and we asked the attorney, and that was what the attorney said. Very few HOAs have CEOs and condos because things can be made unilaterally that affect the business of Brookridge and the membership in Brookridge. And we asked him, and he said, this is the language that you can use that other HOAs have. That is the only thing. What we're doing is we're voting tonight. We're seeing if we're going to approve this and the next one to go on the ballot to give to the people. And if 51% of the voters feel that this is the right thing to do, then they will do that. If they don't, then we go back to the other way. I mean, there are things that get voted on, and there are things that don't. We're not asking All we're doing is asking to put this on the ballot, and the people decide.
The people decide, am I right in saying the people decide? 51%.
51, yeah, with 51%.
Do we have any discussion from the audience? I got a hand down, you can come on our voice, please.
Lucille McGuire, Unit 4. Can you hear me?
Can you hear? It's really hard to hear.
Lucille McGuire,
There you
Unit 4.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, I thought I heard something from you in the process. I'll have to look at the video to really be sure. But it's almost like you're opening up a Pandora's box for tweaking a lot of the bylaws. Is this the beginning of tweaking bylaw?
Okay, I will. Last year, there was a lot of discussion by the membership to look at the bylaws, okay? When there are enough people that ask about it, then we have the obligation to give them the chance to vote on it or not. That's all. They can vote it yes, or they can vote it no. And that is usually about the only time, that's about the main time when anything is changed, unless the law has changed and we have no choice.
My question is this the beginning of doing a lot of tweaking of the bylaws?
Yes, it is, because we're gonna change the culture of this place at home. That's what I run on, and that means we're gonna tweak rules and regulations and bylaws if we need to get it worse, where the smooth, or everything runs smooth instead of chaos. I'm not gonna have it.
We're not making this,
You know, I hope
we're not making this, I see where you're going with it. There is no beginning of tweaking everything. I mean, we only change what we have heard from the membership.
Okay, and let
Well,
me
I'm
tell
gonna stop you right there. That's the reason we form these committees, to get input from the residents. It don't have anything to do with my agenda or Gail's agenda. This is coming from the residents. The residents want to see change in this place, and they will see it. They will see it whether it's 10 people against it and 10 people for it. I mean, 80% for it, because that's what the goal is. That's why I don't have, I can tell you right now, somebody that wants to say SOPs and change SOPs, the everyday resident could care less about that.
You know what, when you talk about all these changes that you're doing in order for the sake of better communication, better working of the community, better getting together, somebody brought up about SOPs saying,
We are still, we
you
have
know
to
what,
keep, we
you know
need,
what, I'm bringing that up simply because it seems to be all fitting in, that you want a lot of changes to occur for the better of the community. And you're saying you want committees to do a lot of input advisement on it?
That's correct. I certainly do. That's why I had that list back
Well,
in January.
okay, then.
And 7 or 8 committees. That's correct.
Let's hope that happens the way you say it's gonna
Let's
happen.
hope it happens.
we've already
It's
started
happening.
it. It is happening now.
I don't see committees really being involved with these decisions. I don't.
Okay, I'm stay right there. We had a committee that did the news and views, for example.
Oh, I agree with that
Studied
part.
And it got anywhere from $3,000 to $4,000 a month off of it, or only through advertising, they pay us. So,
No, I agree with that, and I applaud you for getting that taken care of, but I'm just concerned
Your
about
time is
how
up.
much.
Okay,
Yes,
your time is up.
well, I was sharing it with both of you.
No.
go ahead,
Did you have the lawyer look at this, at the writing? Okay,
He's the one that did it.
because I first of all agree that chief executive officer and then president, why do you need both? They could be cleaned up, so I agree with that. I'm just shall be charged with the responsibility of acting as a president? That's
What does that
just
say?
seems weird.
Acting as the
The
president.
president shall be charged with the responsibility of acting.
Right, he will, if this passes tonight, we send it back to the attorney and we have him clean it up for us before we present it, to the people before the ballot. Yeah, it'll be cleaned up.
Okay, any other discussion? Fine. Yes, come on up.
Mary Story, Unit 6. Gail, you're saying you're doing this according to Florida statutes?
This is,
The change of taking out executive
this,
officer?
okay, this language did not come from me or anybody on the board or the GM. This came directly from the attorney.
Okay, because Florida statute 4.3 states that the president of a homeowners association is traditionally vested with all the powers generally given to the chief executive of a corporation. So why would we want to change that when that falls in line with Florida statute 720, which everybody says we should be following?
This was the change that the attorney gave us. When we brought questions, this is the change that, please, Mary, this came from, we gave him the information. He gave us this back.
And the question is, why do we have to take his advice? Why can't we as a board and residents make our own decision what we'd like to do, since that's what
Okay,
That is
stated in
exactly-
720?
Go down that road.
Right, all right. Okay, wait a minute, all right. The decision is made by the people. If 51% of the people vote in favor of this, that's what it will be. If 51% of the people vote not in favor of it, then we keep it the way it is. This is not something that's going to go into, it's going to go right into action. It is up, and we have made, the board has the right to make the decision what they would like to see in the bylaws, as long as the attorney has processed it.
So
If
the
these-
board is going against what 720 basically
No,
states?
no, because it says it can. It does not say they shall.
It says that he has the powers given to the general executive officer of a corporation. That's what it states.
Exactly, but it's not, it's, Mary, this is the information that the attorney has given us.
I would like to see this tabled until the attorney can clean it up to where it's understandable.
I would, no. I think we should vote on it and decide what to do. Excuse me. Thank you. As I already said, if this is voted on tonight to put on the ballot, it will go back to the attorney. He will clean up anything, because it's just the same as, was it Lucy, you said, oh no, one of you said acting as the chief president, the chief executive officer. That will be cleaned up. The language will be absolutely correct. And then he will look at the rest to see if there's anything else that would need to be changed. I'd like to move the motion to vote.
Status still the same? Who made the second?
Larry.
Larry, okay.
Oh, I'll second
Okay,
You did.
it. Yeah.
all right, split on that, all in favor of that, say aye and raise your right hand.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed,
Aye.
two opposed. About you, Val? Yes. Okay.
All righty. Here's one more, section 1. Okay, the last one that I have is to update the Brookridge Community Property Owners Bylaw, Article 9, Section 1. This was also brought to the board, the prior board, by the nominating committee. And it states, the board The board shall appoint a chairperson and nominating committee for not less than three or more than 5 members. And it had December 1st, but we would like it amended to the first meeting of the BCPO Board of Directors held in October of each year to nominate candidates for election to the board and unit reps. Let a second to discuss it.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Rosemary.
Okay.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I would like to just state why the nominating committee had asked. By doing it in December, it gives them only about a month to make sure that the candidates are all vetted. And we have Christmas and we have New Year's in between there. So they have asked if they could be in October. So that would give them 2 months to go through the nominations. And like last year, there was a problem with one of the candidates. And by giving us more time, that would alleviate that problem. And they felt that they would need that much more time. Candidates would still have all that time to bring it in, but as they bring it in, they would have enough time to vet them.
Also, we didn't have enough time to get them in the news and views for
Oh,
January's
that's right.
issue.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we have any other discussion by the board? Yeah. Okay, by the way,
Are nominating committees still valid? I thought, one of the July updates abolished nominating committees. Just double check.
It could have been that they had to abolish the previous one, because it should stop after the election. And that could be that one was abolished, and so the new committee will come in.
No, I meant like through Becker Polikoff. It might have been something that was proposed. You know how every July they change rules with 720?
Oh, yeah.
I thought I had read that. but
No, we
now
didn't
it's
come.
still valid. Okay.
Thanks, Val.
any discussion by the audience? Any questions? Okay, we'll vote on that. All in favor of the motion, put it on the ballot. Raise your right hand and say aye.
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 Okay, all opposed? There is none. Okay, next we're gonna have a report of directors, and that's gonna be starting out with Mark, got anything?
I have nothing to report except for the golf course will not be having their, meeting this third Wednesday night, this month. They're gonna have it on the second Monday of August because they canceled the one for this month. And I'll be going to that, meeting and bringing back any information I can.
Okay, all right, Val?
Okay, things that I've been working on. Okay, bingo doesn't start till October. They need volunteers. It doesn't take too much of your time. There's actually an early shift and a later shift, and they teach you. You do it 1 week, a month. It's a beautiful thing. You get to meet new people. It's wonderful. A wrap up of the Father's Day poker parade. There was 50 people that participated and all had a good time. I want to thank you for the people that didn't mind having 2 spouses on the board. I wanted to say that I have been putting in motions. I did put in a motion about putting financial rules into the rules and regulations, and I did put in a motion for the board to discuss what financials to put on the website. Both of those motions were denied to be put on the agenda, but I am working for you, so thank you.
Okay, Rosemary? Okay, on this end, Rich?
Sorry, I do talk loud, but that's the way I am. I was in the military and they shot at you, I had to talk loud back to them. Sorry. The men's club will be having 3 yard sales in the west parking lot, as you know, residents and guests only. We have 3 dates set up, September 18th, January 15th, and April 16th. On the bulletin board coming up, you'll see the men's club starting in August to put on the dates for the sale of the tables. There'll be a Tuesday, Thursday program, just like in the past 5 or 6 years. Also, the men's club will be having a Halloween costume party on October 23rd, right here in this room, in the clubhouse, from 7 to 10. Bring in drinks and snacks. We will provide the music. Little Miss Dynamite will perform for 3 hours, $10 a ticket. And also, just before Christmas, breakfast with Santa. Santa will be here between 8 and 11 o'clock. We'll be serving breakfast. Kids under 12 are free, and it's $7. All men's club events will be residents and guests only. We should have a good time. I got some tables sold already. Some people have requested already that we do a garage sale once a week. Well, it's okay. They're requesting it, just like they request other things. So I'm gonna look into it. Once a week would be great. Bring their stuff out. What they don't sell, we just get rid of. So simple. This leaves their sheds out and everything else. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions, see myself. If you see me walking around here to take care of business, then we'll go from there. Thank you very much.
Excuse me, Rich, what day is Santa coming for big breakfast?
Well, he's going to be here on Saturday this year because Sunday we get a problem. Because of church and everything else, it'll be December 11th, 2021. December 11th, he'll be here in full costume. Come on, enjoy it. If you have any grandchildren who live outside here, bring them in, and Santa Claus will take what's called a cheat sheet. That something goes in his hand with the name of the children, grandpa and grandpa, mom and dad, and what the kids do through the year with their fat fingers, and what they're getting for Christmas. And let me tell you, the kids enjoyed it 100%. Because they don't talk to Santa anymore, they want to know how he knows everything. Thank you.
Larry?
No, I have nothing more.
Okay, Kim?
Yes, couple of things. Let me see. Oh, I wanted to thank Jerry and Vince for cooking for the appreciation luncheon for our employees. And Larry and Rosemary and myself were there serving everybody. So it was a fun time, and they really appreciated it. And I want to thank Jerry too. I mean, he actually closed down the office for an hour and a half so that it wouldn't have to be checking on everybody. They could all come up together. So I thought that was a nice thing. Another thing is in the news and views, July news and views on page 14, security duties. And this is something that I hope everybody will look at and read, because everybody does ask what security does for the community. So I would like you to look to see what security does and what they cannot do. The other thing is on page 12, the Health Advisory Committee wrote something about a cardiac episode, and that's something that's all pretty close to us given our age group. So it might be something nice that you could read also. And then one more thing. One of our longtime employees, Ray Sizemore, passed away last Saturday. He worked at the clubhouse for many, many years. He was out on sick leave, and then he came back, and he's been a floater, and he's come in every so often. And he had another cardiac episode, and he passed away last Saturday. The visitation and the service are tomorrow at 10 at Turner Funeral Home. The service is at 11, and there's going to be a reception for the family and everyone from 3 to 5 up at the clubhouse. And I want to thank Vince for getting that together for us. And that's it.
Jerry, I got one more item. Just so the people know that Santa Claus breakfast, it'll be catered. We're not going to do any serving as far as any men's club. It'll all be catered in, starting with 100 people so far. I'll give you the menu. Scrambled eggs, bacon, links, patties, 5 pans of home fries, pancakes, crushed toast, French toast, biscuits and gravy. That's just the beginning of it. for $7. Catered in for Santa Claus.
Is that breakfast station?
Breakfast station.
Yeah,
Mike,
that's
the owner,
what-
has done that. Also, if you're lucky enough and you get chosen, we're gonna have 100 $5 gift cards to give away. Something different. I wanna be always do just a little bit different, so everybody's happy. It's Christmas time.
I do have one more thing. I spoke with a member today, and he approached me about some of the lawn services that have the big lawn equipment, the professional one. Some of them don't have something called a mulching deck that should be closed in, so there's no discharge, because there was somebody on his street that it was open and it was flinging big mulch over to the man's aluminum siding and marked up all his siding. Also went into another neighbor's, into their lanai, and there was the plastic, and it actually broke that. So they asked him, and we'll just ask Captain Schubert if he can follow up on that, and I can talk to him tomorrow.
Okay.
I almost forgot about that.
Okay, I've got, some things, want to let you know that the card stack's starting to hand out the visitor passes again. Plus, we've got them laminated so they can be clean, but also on the back of those things, the card's gonna hand them to the driver of the car, remind them, no speed, stop at stop signs. If they don't obey it, then any ticket they get or any fine they get will go to the homeowner and that thing, and then they're supposed to turn them back in on the way out. So they can keep track of it. Plus, we can hold people accountable for that, because I'm for that. Let's see, the other thing that we started talking about the front row out there is that's gonna be repainted, and that's probably gonna be, Clea says he can do it and make the front row golf carts only across there. That way we don't have the issue with SUVs parking there and trucks, as you one for safety for walkers and safety for the people backing out of those spaces, because you can't see through 10 winds. That's where we're going with that. And I'll go back to the news and views real quick. News and views starts, will be printed by Print Shack, in September issue, and the advertising money goes to us, and they will be a classified page in there for like small vendors, like landscaping people don't want a quarter page or half page ad. They want a 3-line item, they can get it, and that's gonna be probably $25 a month. And there's gonna be some stuff in there on that page is gonna be to put ad in, it's gonna be free for residents. If they wanna sell something or whatever, that'll be free, but most of the other stuff is gonna be for that. And the deadline for that is, well, the first month is the beginning of August, because it comes out in September. And it's gonna be all color and everything. And the reason I say that, we can say that the money we get from that is $3,000 to $4,000, is because as it's set up now, we looked at the proof this morning, and I think Val walked by, so I didn't know where she went, so I was gonna walk back in there. But what it is Print Shack printed for basically right at $5,000. That's monthly on how many copies we need and how many, I don't know how many pages, but the one she had was 44 pages, and if every piece of advertising was sold in there, what she figured, the mock-up, the gross on that thing would be $8,500. So we'd make $3,500 off of it. So we decided to make one page, only had like, what they call a dollar bill ad, that was $100. We said, shoot, we'll just make that be the whole rest of the page, like a classified stuff, and make 25 per person. That page could be worth $1,000, depending on it. So it could be anywhere from up to 4,000. But that starts in September, and how that works is we don't have to pay somebody to go out and get the ads, because most of those people already been with us, and Patrona and Dave started calling people this morning, advertising, and some of them already called us to be in it, so. And what we don't sell, Jen's got some people at Prince Jack that'll fill in with, like, say, they got open this month, say, the person does, would you be interested in that, putting an ad in, so there is a way to fill empty space, there won't be no empty space. And I think Jen will get that money, but most of the rest of it will be ours, because we sent them up. So, the next thing is member comments. Anybody have any member comments about anything? Joanne, come on up.
Hello. I have a question.
Name and unit.
Joanne Burns, Unit 4. I am not going to be doing very much of anything any longer in Brookridge. I am not going to be here very often. Since Charlie passed away, I am spending a lot of time with the kids up in Pennsylvania. So, if anybody can take over where I was kind of doing Thanksgiving, I would really appreciate it. I know it's asking a lot for anybody to do what I was doing in here, but our community means a lot to me. Thanksgiving was something that really I've been doing for 16 years. It's a lot, I'm not doing it anymore, but I can't be here. If anybody wants to do it or is interested in stepping up to do it, you can get in touch with me. I will be here until the 31st of August. I'm all over next door. I will still be back and forth to Florida. So when I am here, I will be involved with the community. If there is any problems at all with any of our seniors, please, okay, I will never, ever not be here for the community. Contact me. I am 100% involved with Jerry Wilson, who is out of Tallahassee and will 100% be there for me. So anything that we need, you make sure you get in touch with me and I will take care of it. So don't let anybody run you. I am here for you 100%, and I will always be here for you. So anything that I can get for you or guide you in any way, I will still be there to help you. So just, if anybody wants to take over Thanksgiving, get in touch with me. I will show you. Anyway, I will give anybody the papers for all the agencies to help out. But unfortunately, since he's passed away, I have moved on and I need to not be here like I was. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comment I'd like to make about anything? Yeah. In the back there.
Vivian Blair, Unit 4. I want to thank Vince and his crew for the 4th of July. It was a really good day, thank you. Thank you for all the people that donated the baskets. It was wonderful. Thank you, board, for putting it on. That's all I want to say. I was the lucky winner of the wine basket, so I've been happy since then.
Have you finished it yet?
Working on it.
Any other comments about anything?
I'll make a
Go ahead,
motion.
Larry.
Greg, I got one comment, it's for Greg. On this parking, which Jerry indicated, no SUVs in the front space there. Do we have anything for the code enforcement to stop by and see a car? SUV is a car without a trunk, with a hatch. Some of our vehicles out there are SWs on registrations, those are station wagons. So everybody has to realize that on their registration, it tells what kind of vehicle you have. Will we be checking that if we talk to the people, Greg, about that? We'll be checking registrations. It says right on the registration what kind of vehicle it is. If it's an SUV, if it's a station wagon, that looks like an SUV. It says right on registration.
Actually, SUV say truck.
We have some that say station wagon, Florida. No, mine don't say truck. We have some residents here that say station, SW. You can park there, right, with a truck?
No, it says no trucks.
No trucks also.
It says no trucks.
Thank you.
You know, the whole thing about this is the safety of the people. And I know some people, you know, think it's a joke, because I know when I first came into the neighborhood, I had neighbors that would go up there and park because they didn't have the big SUVs, but they still had the other ones that, the crossovers. But the thing is that the people couldn't see over either the back of their vehicle, or they couldn't see over the top of their vehicle. This is strictly for safety. This is not imposing another, you know, chokehold on everybody. And it is strictly because of the safety of our community.
Well, when it comes to that, we did post that we were gonna do, warnings the month of May, and then we was gonna start enforcement in June. And to tell you that we do listen to people is, people have been calling, saying certain times of day when code enforcement not here, they call the administrative office, or they call my phone and tell me that somebody's parked up here, and I say, I come here and take a look. So one day I come up here and we saw 3 cars, and I did call code enforcement up here. And then I got called another day and come up here, and the guy was parked, had a big truck in the handicap. I didn't say nothing because he was in the handicap, because they park there. So that's where that comes from. I'm always listening to the people. I know that some people say that I don't answer. I do not answer emails. I take phone calls and phone calls only, because I want to talk to the person themselves, because they can hide behind the computer. So I want them to see their face and see their facial expressions and that kind of thing. So anybody that sends an email will not get a response from me, because I believe in face-to-face. As far as changing any culture, and here it goes, primarily that's looking at the residents' input and making sure that Canadians and snowbirds have a say-so in it. And that's where that comes from. So anybody got any other, yeah, come on, listen.
Val was trying to get her words in too. I need clarification. Yes, I did email you, and I was hoping for a response. I could understand, maybe I should make a face-to-face contact with you. Okay? Clarify something I brought up through my email. The parking, that single parking area where you have a couple of spots for SUVs in front of the clubhouse, are you considering that the rest of that area could all be made for handicap parking?
Well, that on that end there, you have to look at that map, plus we gotta find out how much of the golf course owns that.
Right, but we've been parking there.
Mm-hmm. They've allowed us to.
Right, they've allowed
part
us.
of ours, I mean, I think it's where the tree was, but that's part of the
No,
parking
no,
lot.
but even beyond the tree, we've had a couple of parking spots that I always use.
Yeah.
But in my email, I had asked for you to consider that this part of the building, not this, the other part of the building where there are rooms that people use, the pool, the pavilion, these other things, there really aren't enough handicap parking areas in this end of the building over there. And couldn't you take the rest of that single area and
We can
properly,
be able to look at that.
yeah, properly
We'll look at
line it up correctly like they do at the other areas for handicap?
Yeah, there's really too much handicap out on this side over here where people are parking. So, yeah, we'll look at that.
Okay, thank you. And from now on, I will make an appointment to speak to you face
Well,
to
you
face.
ain't gotta make point, if I ain't illegal, you come to the office, and I'll talk to you. I mean, that's the way it is.
Well, if you're busy, I won't be able to talk to you, so, okay. Thank you.
Go ahead, back.
Okay, we were talking about bylaws today a lot. I want to remind the board that in the bylaws, it says the board may adopt such rules and regulations and policies and guidelines. So things like this where we're talking about parking spaces or things like that, that should be a board decision, right? Because that's in our bylaws.
Yeah.
So let's try to, put them on the agenda maybe. And speaking of the agenda, I got my agenda Tuesday at 10:30. According to the SOPs, the board's supposed to get them Friday at noon, so and this has been maybe something that wasn't discussed with the staff, that there is such an SOP. So I wanted to make sure that, Jerry knows about it.
Any other questions or comments by anybody in the audience? Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Is it on? Sandy Comps, Unit 2. The parking lot right here, I think it's this parking lot, there is major handicap parking. If you park there, you can come right through here and get to the pool and everything. I don't know why this is such a dilemma. If you go out here, there's how many handicap spots right here?
No, you cannot go into the pool from, you're supposed to go into the pool area from the pool.
Oh, so you have to go outside.
You're right. You're not
Okay.
supposed to come in.
All right, so,
Reason being is that if they park over here, they do park over here, they walk around because 9 times out of 10 they're wet and they'll.
oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, sorry.
Any other questions, comments?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
So where we going for lunch, Mark? All right, probably Glory Days. Okay.
I sit too long.
Yeah, I know, I get off.
My back.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is, we have to have it out 48 hours ahead to work session, which overrides us. And I don't care whether she picked them up, because Rich was here on Monday, I said, "You